Good afternoon. Welcome to Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. Happy Tuesday. The chat is up and running. And I got to start a poll. Let's see. If yesterday taught me anything, it taught me to get on the poll bandwagon. All right. Let's come up with a good poll here. Do you think I change All right. Do you think I should change this show? Start the poll. Let's find out. All right. So, let me get my cigarette here. Afternoon chat, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The format of the show is simple. People in the chat are the guest stars. They determine what we talk about. Show has no script. It has no agenda. The people in the chat are in charge. It's a free show. If you want to be able to chat, you need to get that Discord app from YouTube. So, what do you guys want to talk about? I have nothing going on today. I went to family breakfast and grocery shopped. That was it. My normal Tuesday routine. I'll probably go for a walk later. It's still nice. Although we're supposed to have some thunderstorms coming later tonight. As long as we don't get tornadoes, we're fine. So what's up with you guys? We had a great show yesterday. Today, I'm losing viewers fast. If you think I should change the show, let me know. I'm comfortable the way it is. Today is the 1-year anniversary of when I decided I'd research doing a podcast. And we've been up and running for 5 months. I find it interesting. It's actually the high point of my day. But I'm retired. You guys are busy. You guys are working. You're in the hustle and bustle, in the fast lane. So what's going on, people? I had a mellow night last night. Smoked myself into oblivion. Not much else going on today. Grocery store the prices are still going up. I paid more for ground beef this week than I did last week. I paid more for everything this week than I did last week. So I bought less. That's how you save money in 2026. I won't go hungry. I got snacks and crap around the house, but I bought less meals. I was not coupon clipping king today. I forgot to do my coupons. I'm working on it, Crumbling is beating me into shape. She's making me pay more attention to stuff. So, what do you guys got going on? A big time Tuesday. Do I look a year older? I feel a year older. All my kids and grandkids called yesterday, tell me happy birthday. The show was busy, went real fast. I actually had a good day. Had a nice walk in the park. Got some good exercise. I've been heavy-legged the last 2 days. So I'm hoping that when I go for a walk today, I'm hoping my body moves a little bit better. Lions made some football moves. None that made any sense to me. They picked up a center, and they picked up a running back. Pacheco. I don't know. I just wonder how good he blocks. Need a running back that can block. Buys a little more time for the quarterback. That's all. I did not catch Mike Kimber's video yet. I saw it's there. I'll watch it after the show. Find out his take, but I don't know how long Pacheco's been in the league. I think we were better off with David Montgomery, but I don't know spit, so. So, what are you guys up to? Anything? Oh, I sat here last night and watched Crumbelina play on her phone for 3 hours. It was very exciting. I twisted her arm, made her smoke a lot of dope. I think that's why she stayed on her phone for 3 hours. Yeah, the war's still going on. Nancy Guthrie's still missing. Trump's still a pedophile. Some things ain't going to change. It's interesting. People are expecting things to change, and they're just not going to. Congress is not going to force any oversight over the president. They're just going to follow him like a bunch of lapdogs. In the old days, the president would do something out of line and Congress would keep him in check. This Congress has no intention on keeping anyone in check, not even themselves. It's completely dysfunctional, in my opinion. That's all I can offer you is my opinion. I like this show with no real structure other than the fact of being here. But, maybe it's time that I pay attention to you guys and find out what you guys want. Yesterday's show went real nice. Had a couple of people in the chat. We had good conversation, and boom, it was over. The poll I put up yesterday, I thought that was hilarious. You guys thought 100% of the audience thought that I have a problem with polls, that I dislike them. I really don't dislike them. It's just that I forget to do them. Well, there's nobody cracking a whip above me. I got no boss. Okay. So I slack off whenever possible. It's all my fault. I will try to improve. You guys notice that light flashing? My bulb's burning out, I think. It's having a stroke. On live, yeah, while I'm live streaming. It's out now completely. I think it's off. I'm not going to get up and walk over there unless it catches fire. I'm sure I'd just burn out a bulb. It flashed a couple of times and then nothing. I think it's interesting when things go wrong on a live stream. Kind of cracks me up. Just more proof that I'm not AI. AI wouldn't have things go wrong. AI wouldn't smoke. AI would get a haircut and put a damn shirt on. AI would trim his beard. I ain't doing it. I'm staying out of trouble. That light just flashed again. This is getting serious now. Could be an electrical short. You never know. If you guys see flames behind me, somebody jump in the chat. Don't let my hair catch on fire. I'm still thinking about doing something with the set so that it's got some color to it. It looks so blah. It's almost like black and white. Well, the problem is I don't have any money. And when you want to go and buy things, it costs money. Go figure. I'm happy. Yeah. My kids are doing fine. My granddaughters. The call yesterday with my granddaughter just warms my heart. She can make me swoon. She's just so smart, so strong, so independent. I'm just super proud. She's going away to college in August. I'm excited for her. It'll be interesting to see what she does as an adult. She'll turn 18 in May. She's starting college. She is 3 credits shy of having an associate's degree to start college. I think she can get a master's in 4 years. That I honestly believe she can. Could you imagine that? Graduating college with a master's in 4 years' time at 22 years old. Wow. I could never dream of such ambitious goals. But yeah, the kids are doing fine. Everybody's healthy and happy, and life is good for them. Hopefully, something good will happen this week. Sharon, welcome. How are you? Give Bill a pinch in the butt. Tell him I said hi. Yeah. She's just it. I had my 69th birthday yesterday. And I was missing everybody's call all day long. Couldn't make connections with anybody. And then boom, boom, boom. Oldest, granddaughter, and then the youngest. Everybody's calls came in. Just warmed my heart. Well, thank you, dear. I appreciate you. 69. There's nothing nice about growing this old. All I can say about growing old is I make it look damn good. Okay. It's very exciting, though, because today is the milestone. 1 year ago today, I sat here on this spot, on this couch, and I said, you know what? I want to get one of them podcast thingies. Everybody's got one. Why can't I have one? I looked at all my equipment and I'm like, that's Google, that's Google, that's Google. It should all work. Plug it all in and ta-da. It's amazing. And I've spent the last year trying not to let my computer and TV sync up with my phone. $74. That's what my oldest is teasing me. He's saying, you're what, 74 now, 75? No. Well, Sharon's still young. Bill, on the other hand, I don't know. He might be what, 200, 300 years old? Bill impressed me the first day I met him when he turned his hearing aid down. Oh, he's 86. Oh, man. My father's 87. And he's cracking me up. He's funny. He keeps getting checked out by the doctor, and they say, yeah, you're still alive. I think most of the viewers of this show are much younger. I believe 25 to 35. I'm trying to sort out the analytics on the channel, but they don't give you people's ages. I'm going by the people I can remember talking to and stuff. Well, you could get him an elephant ear transplant. They could put some big old floppy ears on him. That might improve his hearing. I don't know. I've never seen a deaf elephant. Yeah, tell him you're going to sign him up for a transplant. Get him some elephant ears. Tell him one ear will always have the sound of the TV show Gunsmoke. Then he should be happy camper. That's my father's favorite show. I think he's seen every episode a dozen times, and yet he still watches it. I think that was the generation, you know. I liked the later guys. I liked Paladin, Have Gun Will Travel. It was hard to tell whether he was a good guy or a bad guy sometimes. That made the character interesting. But yeah, 1 year in and the show's running fine, except for the delay that Spectrum plays with. I used to watch Wanted, Dead or Alive with Steve McQueen. I liked Steve McQueen. I used to use Steve McQueen's name whenever I did a store return. You take something back and you give them the receipt, and they have you fill something out when they give you your money, and they'd say, sign here. And I used to always sign Steve McQueen. Nobody ever read it and turned and said, hey, you're not Steve McQueen. And I did it Steve McQueen for a number of years. Then I switched over and I did John Wayne. Well, all of these shows nowadays seem to be carbon copies of one another. They're the exact same storyline. They change it up a little bit, but it's all basically the same. Here's your good guy. Uh-oh, he gets hurt. He gets beat up. Oh, he gets better. Oh, he gets revenge. And there's justice. All the stories are basically the same. Boring. I got an idea I'm tossing around about writing a book. I want to have a young female lead that has anger issues. Just keeps beating everybody up. Just a woman that can't control her temper. When it snaps, and she just unleashes on people. I think it'll be a very interesting character. But I was thinking of giving her like a computer geek boyfriend. You want me to design a character after you, Sharon? Sharon Gets Even, Chapter 2. Do you have a bunch of pent up anger and aggression, Sharon? It's so hard to write a book. I'm telling you. Every time I try to write a book, I start doing research and then something goes wrong. And that's not the story I was trying to tell. So I throw it in the crapper. And the last book I was trying to do, I was calling it, it was titled Understanding Us. And I was going to explain that if everybody does it, this is normal behavior. That was my simple explanation. And then I did some research and I found out that war is normal human behavior. And I'm like, how can I write a book and be pro-war? I can't. So I dropped the whole notion. Smart girl. Stress is killing everybody all over the planet. You can't let the little stuff bother you. You've got to just, well, okay. There's another thing I don't control. But I should write another book. It takes time to do the research. No, I don't see you nodding. I had options when it came to doing this show, and I could have done it with other people being viewed on the screen. But my liability costs would double. I can't have any control over what somebody says, and I don't want to get sued. I voice a lot of opinions on here, but I don't get sued. There's a difference. Nowadays in America, it's lawsuit city. That's why I don't do anything except original content. Nobody can sue me if it's all original content. I can't play any music. If you play music, you get copywritten, right? The more stuff you do on TV, the more restrictions you have. But I enjoy doing the live show. I have tried doing the shorts and just filming some little videos, but they didn't seem to get that much attention. The live show yesterday, during the stream, we hit 105 viewers. That was the first time in triple digits. Well, thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. I'm just on here winging it. It's the exact same as when I was dealing blackjack. People would stop by, visit for a while, and leave. I'll just talk to them while they're here. But I think that's why I like this so much. I enjoy talking to people. What's the biggest thing on your mind today, Sharon? I'll tell you the main thing on my mind. I don't want this exalted hot dog to reinstate the draft. My sons are too old to go, but my granddaughter isn't. She's 18. If she gets drafted, Mr. Trump and I are going to have a problem. We don't need no stinking draft in this country. You need to leave these young people alone. They just got through COVID. Give these young people a break. Sending their kids off to war. That's just insane. Oh, I know. I'm hoping this storm they're talking tonight, it's supposed to be pretty bad, though. I'm hoping it's not. Hopefully, it'll miss us. The last one just kind of skirted us. I was actually able to walk each day without getting drenched. Thursday and Friday of last week, it was raining both days, but I managed to get my walk in before it all came pouring down. I'd like to do the same tonight. The park was packed yesterday. There were kids everywhere. Every corner of that park had kids in it yesterday. It was great. Warms my heart. See all them kids laughing and playing and running. That's what it's all about to me is the laughter, the fun parts of life, the good parts of life. Exactly. Well, I saw some news blurb just before I came on that there was a shooting at the consulate in Canada, and there was some kind of bombing or attempted bombing. They busted a couple of youngsters that were praising ISIS. Oh my goodness. Well, they're 18. They don't know. Their brain isn't even fully developed yet. And these two kids just ruined their lives. They're going to spend the rest of their lives in prison for what they did. Uh, Children make mistakes because they can't think things through. Their brain is not completely developed. Especially young boys. Well, they think they're indestructible, for one. The human body is pretty fragile, if you ask me. I am hoping that those kids can get out in 10 years or something, but I ain't going to hold my breath. They made some kind of homemade bombs and then tried to chuck them into a crowd or something. I didn't watch the news story. I just saw the blurb, you know. I'll check it out later tonight. I'll probably do some more research on Nancy Guthrie tonight, too. There's got to be some way to track that woman down. Hopefully they'll get some kind of a lead somehow. I thought that with $1 million reward, they'd get a little action. I really did. It's actually 1.1 million, the reward now. The family put up $1 million. But I would think that that would generate some leads somewhere. But I really don't think she's still alive. Been without her meds for over a month. No chance. All the senior citizens I know, they can't miss their meds. You miss your meds and you ain't going to make it. I agree with you, Sharon. I agree 100%. I say teach your children until they teach you back. And we need to have more children. The birth rate in America is dropping drastically. All the major countries, the birth rate is lowering. It's dropping down. It's too expensive to have kids now. Well, you don't have guaranteed health care in this country. Without guaranteed health care, anything could happen in a child's lifetime. And we've got a fast-paced world, a dangerous world. Oh, I know. I went to Myers this morning and grocery shopped. I looked at the steak, waved at it as I walked by. I couldn't afford to buy any of it. I was talking to Will down at the restaurant. His prices are going up. He's cutting costs. He's trying to trim it. He doesn't want to raise his prices anymore. but all of his costs are going up. Yeah, I went there the last 2 mornings. Yeah. Well, I went out Saturday night with my father. We went to dinner over at Bob Evans. Just he and I. And we were talking about prices, and I remember buying a cup of coffee and being able to tip the waitress with $1. Nowadays, you got to have a 5 to do that. The coffee costs you $3.75. It's outrageous. And I know that coffee was, back in the day, it was what they called a high gross item. The restaurant was paying like a nickel a serving. Now the cost is just outrageous. I spent 80 today at the grocery store, and I brought in 4 bags. They weren't full bags, but 4 separate bags. I bought a rotisserie chicken for tonight. Yeah, you just can't afford to eat beef anymore. Oh, that reminds me. Gosh darn it, I'm stupid. Somebody told me that Myers was carrying bison, American bison meat. And I wanted to try it, but I forgot to look at it. I was in a hurry to get out of the grocery store. But I want to try bison. I watch a show on YouTube called Cross Timbers Bison. I liked elk. I liked deer. I used to eat rabbit, partridge, when I used to hunt. So I figure I'll probably like buffalo. Well, bison. But I want to try it. It's supposed to be a leaner meat. Yeah. Well, what I was told is to cook it just like you do venison. But I've never tried it. But yeah, I'll eat that rotisserie chicken for 2 days. $9, $8.99 I paid for it. But I'll get 2 meals out of it. put a potato with it or something and, call it $5 a meal. That's about the best you can do nowadays, I think. Yeah. They were talking about a movie yesterday, Soylent Green. You remember that out of the 70s? Where it was like a post-apocalyptic sci-fi. And there was a massive food shortage. So the government was giving you a little bit of green tablets to eat. And then at the end of the movie, you find out that the little green tablets are made of human beings. Yeah. Cannibalism at its finest. They made it was a complete sci-fi in the 70s when they did this, but it's pretty close to realistic nowadays. We're damn near in World War III. This morning I was thinking, why the hell don't they just have an underground pipeline to get them past the Strait of Hormuz? Yeah. The 70s movies, some of them were real dark. You remember The Exorcist when Linda Blair's head spun? Oh, I lost it when that happened. I was freaking out. I watched a documentary on the state hospital up here on Oakland Drive. As it turns out, Malcolm X's mother was locked up there for 24 years. I knew that they had the underground tunnels and stuff up there. Both my grandparents on my mother's side worked up there, which is why it caught my interest and I actually watched the documentary. But Malcolm X's father was, he died in some way, left a single woman with 6 kids. And she was writing to her senators and her congressmen and her mayor and everybody is saying, you guys are doing a horrible job. They took all of those letters and said, see, this woman, this is the proof. This woman is nuts. Lock her up against her will. 24 years they kept her. The 6 kids all went into the foster program. Shortly after Malcolm X died, the rest of the kids got together and were able to finally get their mother out of the institution. But she was not insane. She was simply disgruntled and black. Give me a break. My grandmother on my mother's side worked up there in the high security with the violent people. 4'11" and like 110 pounds, and she worked up there for years. Yeah. Well, this is what history teaches us about America. You look at it right now, the amount of lies that come out of our White House, it's par for the course. Our government has always lied to us. All governments lie. It's disgusting. The lie I saw this morning was Trump saying that the Iranian people blew up their own girls' school. It was hit with Tomahawk missiles. They got it on film. Okay. It was not the Iranian people blowing up their own school. But our exalted hot dogs just going to sit there and lie to the TV cameras and say, oh, yeah, they did that themselves. That wasn't us. Only one country on the planet has Tomahawk missiles, and it's the United States. In the first day of the war, they blew up 180 kids. They hit an elementary school. I think they're using AI to target. And AI has no respect for life. I don't even think AI knows what life is. But yeah, I think they're using AI for targeting, and they're looking to make mass casualty events. Crazy. Every one of them people that's dying, we're ending bloodlines that the human race needs. We need those bloodlines to have children and grandchildren. We need everybody to get educated so that they can grow up and solve all our world's problems. And every time we end one of these bloodlines, it's the human race essentially shooting itself in the foot. We're trying to cure cancer really hard, but how many times have we killed the offspring that could have gotten educated, that could have grown up and cured cancer? That's my latest thing is the human beings are the only ones that can fix all the problems on planet Earth. The animals ain't going to do it. It's got to be a human being to solve our problems. Yeah, I think the Earth has got a lot of problems. We've got a problem with getting along with one another. Big Pharma controls a lot in this country. A buddy of mine retired a few years ago, and he moved to Thailand. And he went into the local drugstore to get his prescriptions. And he called me up and he said, guess what? all my prescriptions I was taking, I don't need them anymore. And I said, why? How's that? They were treating him for the side effects of, he was taking one drug and then it had side effects. So they were treating the side effects of that drug, and then the side effects of that drug, and then the side effects of that drug. So he was taking a mitt full of pills every day. His pharmacist, when he got there, looked at him and said, well, if you stop taking this pill, this problem, and this problem all go away. So he went from taking like 10, 12 pills a day down to one. And his cost of living in Bangkok, Thailand was just, it was cheap. He said for $1,500 a month, he has a woman that cleans his house, does his grocery shopping, and does his cooking. He's living like a king. And for $23,500, he bought the penthouse in his condo building. They cherish the lower floors. He got the penthouse dirt cheap. Another buddy of mine, same age, retired and went to the Philippines. And he'd said same thing, $1,500 a month, live like a king. For that money, he's hired somebody to come in and do his cooking and cleaning and his laundry. I think the corporations are the major problem in this country. They're turning the profit. They're turning the profit by tightening the screws on us. I'm starting to think that all these mergers that they let these major corporations do are not to our benefit. I think it's to our detriment. Afternoon chat, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The guest stars of the show are the people in the chat. They determine what we talk about. They have total control over the show. The show does not have a script. It does not have an agenda. I get on here 5 days a week and I'm just winging it. I really don't care what we talk about. Oh yeah, for $1,500 a month, you need to get food stamps. Yeah, the costs are ridiculous. This complex that I'm in, they have about 15% vacancy, and they have 15% vacancy because they price themselves out of the market. I don't think they realize it, but Most people's Social Security checks are under $1,500 a month. I was making, I don't know, 20, 25,000 a year before I moved to Vegas. People that were making 20, 25,000 a year that are now on Social Security are only picking up 1,000 a month. If your Social Security is 1,000 a month, you can't afford to live alone. You need a roommate so you can cut your expenses in half. I should probably find a roommate to cut my expenses in half. The problem is, nobody wants to live with a cigarette smoker. That would banish me to smoking outdoors. Ew. It's fine in the summer, but it ain't so fine in the winter. I was actually expecting I'm paying $861 now for a 1-bedroom. And I just, that light, it came back on and it stayed on after all that flashing. You believe that? I'm going to call maintenance tomorrow. Have them take a look at it. But evidently, the bulb's not burnt out. So it must be a wiring problem. But yeah, they raise the rent every year. It goes up by $100. They price themselves out of the market. But the rates here are still cheap compared to the rest of the country, though. My son in Vegas, on a 2-bedroom, he's paying $1,840 a month for a 2-bedroom. My younger son, he bought a condo a couple of years back, so he's all right. Well, they can't raise the rent on a condo. But yeah, my lease is up in August, and I'm sure they're going to increase me by another $100. But they literally have like 15% occupancy available. The two apartments behind me have been empty for over 6 months. Well, they got this new corporate pricing plan, and what it amounts to is price fixing throughout a particular city. Everybody raises their rents the same amount so that they get them up and they're right at the peak. They call it what the market can bear, what the market will bear. I think they'd be better off. They'd make more money if they had all the units rented. That would make more sense. But I'm not trying to be sitting here complaining about my bills. I really am not. What else you want to talk about? I'm having a good time doing this show, but I don't want it to become a political show. I don't want it to become a sports show. You know what I mean? That's one of the things I liked about dealing the table games in Vegas is when people walked up, you never knew what they wanted to talk about. Some of them wanted to talk about blackjack, but most of them, they had other stuff on their mind. What I miss about Vegas is going to the shows all the time. I got kind of spoiled. 33 years of being able to go see a show every week, sometimes multiple shows in 1 week. Oh, that's not bad, Sharon. If your mobile's paid off. I lived in one in Vegas, and this was, many, many years ago. I had a double wide, and they kept raising the lot rent, and the lot rent got to be higher than the trailer payment. My personal opinion, I prefer renting. I prefer to rent because I'm not handy at fixing things. I need that maintenance man to come fix that light. You know what I mean? I am not handy at all. If I go to fix something, it usually spirals into multiple repairs. I've never been good with tools. Not my gig. My brother retired from the Carpenters Union He can build you anything. And I mean, it'll last 100 years. I didn't get that gene. I can write a check. I can't operate a power tool, but I can write a check. I learned my limitations a long time ago. I tried to change a alternator in my van one time. I ended up buying 3 alternators. Yep, I'm that good. I didn't label the wires, and when I put the new alternator in, I burn it up. So I had to replace that one. And then I still didn't know how to do the wires, so then I had to pay a mechanic to come to the house and hook up my wires. I ended up paying for 3 alternators. And that's when I took my toolbox and I gave it to the guy. You know what to do with these. They're all yours. I don't want nothing to do with it. I have a pair of pliers. That's it. 1 pair of pliers. I thought about buying a screwdriver once. Decided against it. Yeah, it sounds like you guys are all set out there. I need to be in the city. You know what I mean? I don't drive anymore. My vision at night is really, really bad. And I could never forgive myself if I hit somebody. I need to be in the city, preferably walking distance to a grocery store. I'm actually okay here. I can walk up to the corner and back. Takes me about 2 hours. They should put benches all along the sidewalk so you got places to sit and rest, but they don't. It's a young person's world, okay? Yeah, I could probably get by with a mobile home. I just don't want to have to fix stuff when it breaks. I thought about buying one of them electric bikes. They got a 3-wheel version called a trike. Looks stable enough, and you don't have to pedal. So I was thinking about it. I went and looked at one. I priced it out and everything. But then I thought about it, and I decided if I bought that, I'd never walk again. Health-wise, I need to get up and walk every day. So maybe I'll have one in my future, but for right now, nope. I did a little research a couple years back, and if you sit 16 hours a day, your life expectancy drops to 3 years. You got to stay active. You just got to stay moving. If you don't stay alive. Do you guys have pets? Crumbelina has a cat. I don't have any. Well, there you go. Well, you see, you're getting out to walk the dog, right? That'll get you some exercise. And Crumbelina spends like $100 a month to feed her cat, to feed one cat. That's outrageous. All the vets in town are really high priced. Private equity went in and bought up all the veterinarian clinics, and then they raised the prices for the entire town. They're in essence creating a small monopoly. I would like to have a pet just for the companionship, but I don't want the added expense. I don't want the added expense, and I don't want the added responsibility. I barely take care of me. I was thinking about going the other way. I was thinking about buying an RV and just traveling around the country for a couple of years. I should be able to, buy equipment and take the podcast right on the road with me. Shouldn't be a big deal. But then in the wintertime, I could drive to Florida, you know, Southern California, go someplace warm. I got family down in Florida. I got family in Vegas yet. I got family up in Seattle. I could travel all over the country and just hang out a couple of months here, a couple of months there. I wouldn't mind driving for a few hours a day, but I wouldn't want to be doing like 10-hour days driving. That's insane. But I could drive 4 hours in a day, 5 hours in a day. I wouldn't want no giant RV though. They're a pain in the butt to drive. I would want a smaller one with an awning so I could sit outside in the evening. when I was young, I hitchhiked around the country for about 5 years. That was fun. Got to see basically the entire continental United States. But I think it would be better with an RV. Well, I'm pretty spoiled. I need my creature comforts, you know. But nowadays, these campsites, they're getting just as pricey as an apartment. If you're going to pay more than $50 a night, you may as well stay at a Motel 6, you know. We'll see what happens down the road, but, you know, I was thinking an RV might be nice. Just so that, you know, whenever it got nasty weather, I could just drive out of it. But yeah, I used to, when I hitchhiked for years, I would go east and west on either 40 or 80, north or south, depending on the time of year. And on the west coast, I always used the Pacific Coast Highway to go north and south. On the east coast, I think it's 75 or 79, something like that. I saw something the other day said that they got cougars in Michigan now. 34 sightings of mountain lions in Michigan last year. Most of them were in the Upper Peninsula. But 34 sightings in 1 year. And those cats are very elusive. They don't go around people at all. That aspect of camping, you know, that's yeah, I wouldn't want to run into like a grizzly bear or something. I'd like to go up to Alaska maybe, but I don't want to run into no grizzly bear. Nature's good from a distance. That's my take. But yeah, I was thinking get a camper, cruise around. Then if you wanted to go and see something like Yosemite, you're all set. Well, when I hitchhiked around the country, though, it was a different world than we're living in today. Today's a lot more dangerous. Well, there's a lot more traffic, too. It's something I noticed this morning when we were out, is there was not much traffic today. Stores weren't busy. I went to Myers and Harding's both. So what else you got going on? Anything? How are your kids doing? I kind of miss you having pink hair. It was cute. I was telling Miss Michael about that too. I missed her. She had her hair dyed 2 years ago. Well, I guess I should give the poll about another 15 minutes and then I'll close it out. I'm thinking about doing some more videos. I want to try doing my own closed captioning. I'm thinking it might be a whole rabbit hole, though, that I don't want to get into, but I saw that YouTube gave me an option. Should be interesting. Well, yeah, when I do the live stream, YouTube does the closed captioning for me. But anything that's put up in the United States has got to have the closed captioning. I think it just makes them easier for them to translate it into other languages. But I think people are using AI to do it now. We could just get Bill some sunglasses and he wouldn't even know your hair's pink. Like a dark green sunglass, he would never even know that it was pink. Did you tell him that this is called the Pick on Bill show? That's the name of the show now. Let's all pick on Bill. We're making him famous. Whether he likes it or not. It's a good thing he's got a sense of humor. Yesterday we had massive views, 110 views or something during the course of the show. We haven't even had 5 views this show. It's weird. Some days I get a bigger audience than other days. So who walks the dog the most, you or Bill? I'm guessing it's you. Yeah. Well, you're like the responsible one, I can tell. I never did ask you what line of work you were in when you were younger. I was thinking maybe you were a teacher. We had 8 of us at breakfast this morning. Michael's mother, Lee, joined us, made 8. Julia's out sick. She's going through the breast cancer stuff. I couldn't believe that they made her go back to work. I would think that if somebody's fighting cancer, you should give them a break, and say, hey. But I think it was like health insurance related. And she had to be there for a few days or something in order to stay on the health insurance. Just another one of the disadvantages of being an American is you don't have guaranteed health care. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the poll so I don't forget it. Oh, that's cool. Very similar to what my mother did, actually. For my mother, you'd have to add to your list dental assistant. But she had all the others: waitress, bartender, cook. Yep. You know, when she was, I don't know, 30, she was managing a restaurant in Schoolcraft. She was a restaurant manager there. But you're the same as Crumbelina. Crumbelina's done all those same jobs. What did Bill do before he retired? I'm thinking factory worker, but probably, I don't know. Maybe in the paper mills. Those used to be big in this area. I was a factory worker and a cook out here. Oh, nice. Upjohn's used to be a major employer up here. I think it's Pfizer now. Yeah, I used to be a drill press operator and a cook. I went out to Vegas and found a job as a cook, and within 6 months, I went to dealer school, decided I wanted to try to become a table games dealer, and then I never looked back. I worked downtown Vegas for a year and a half, and then up on the strip for the rest of my career. I had a knack for it, actually. My oldest son did the Air Force. He liked it, but then he got into martial arts. Ended up having his own karate studios. And then he went from that into selling liquor, wholesale and distributors, you know. My youngest son is a leasing agent at a high-end apartment complex. And my granddaughter so far has been working in retail sales, but she's going to college to go into social work. She wants to do social work litigation. I think the litigation end of it, I'm not sure what all that entails. The military used to be a large employer. I think they've been shrinking over the years now. I think they have more people on reserve status than they do full time. That's one of the first things I noticed about the war in Iran is the first guys killed were all reserves. Yeah, I was 33 years in Las Vegas table games. I dealt blackjack, craps, roulette, and then I went into management, worked my way up to casino shift manager. And once I became crippled, I couldn't do the job anymore. I got two boys. They're 23 years apart. My oldest turns 52 this year. My youngest turns 29 this year. Neither one of them went to college, but my granddaughter's going to college. Yeah, I was I excuse me. I was in the adult entertainment industry. Gambling and drinking. A lot of my jokes have a tendency to be not for children. But I raised my boys in Vegas and they came out wonderful. I'm super proud of both of them. And my granddaughter turns 18 in May. Of course, I'm a little bit biased, but I think my granddaughter's the most beautiful woman on the face of the earth. I really do. Smart and very, very independent. Our conversation last night, I asked, she's getting ready to move to Reno. And I said, what kind of a job do you want when you get there? And she said, probably retail sales. And I said, do you want me to make a call and see if I can line you something up? She said, no, Grandpa. She says, I need to do this myself. I'm like, wow. I told her, if you change your mind, don't hesitate to call. I'll make a call, you know. But she's very independent. And I'm happy about that. But yeah, she got a scholarship up there. Nice. That's awesome. I got a buddy, a kid that I used to mentor, that's doing the exact same thing in Philly. He's like a house manager. When the guys get out of jail or wherever they've been incarcerated, they move into his house, and I think he's got as many as 14 guys in that house. And he's helping them all. You got to love people that are willing to sacrifice their lives to help other people. A lot of people don't have that nurturing instinct. Sounds like your grandson does. Yeah, my granddaughter applied at Michigan and Michigan State, and she got accepted at both, but no scholarship offer. I would have liked her to have gone to either Michigan or Michigan State, but she had to go where she got the scholarship, you know. Addiction is a major problem in the United States. Major problem. Everyone is self-medicating, including me. I smoke marijuana, you know. All right, I gotta start winding down the show. Afternoon chat, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The guest stars of this show are the people in the chat. Today's number one guest star, Sharon. The people in the chat determine what we talk about. The show has no script. It has no agenda. I get on here every day. I'm just winging it. Control of this show belongs in the chat room. This is a free show. There's no midstream ads, no sponsors. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Thank you, Sharon. Have a wonderful day. I'll look for you tomorrow, kid. Give Bill a hug. Tell him I said hi. I'm not coming out with a line of merchandise. I'm not running for political office. You don't have to agree with me to get into this chat room. We do have some rules in here. You need to follow the community guidelines that are established by YouTube. They're the only platform we're on, so we don't want to piss them off. Okay? But without having a topic, the show can be about anything on any given day. You never know. Yesterday's show, we were given relationship advice. Today's show, we were talking about life in Southwest Michigan and our children and grandchildren. That keeps the show from getting boring to me. So whatever's on your mind, if you got a topic you want to discuss, jump in the chat. If you want to chat, you're going to need that Discord app from YouTube. It's free, just like the show's free. As long as you're in following the community guidelines, we're not going to have a problem. You'll find that the people in the chat are very, very nice, very knowledgeable, and helpful. one of the things that, well, like in yesterday's show, one of our viewers was going through a breakup, and his self-esteem had been damaged. And the people in the chat rallied around him and were very supportive. That's the kind of thing that happens on this show. There are more good people in this world than there are bad, I swear. If you watch the local news, it's run by corporate America. It shouldn't even be called news. It should be called the Scare Olympics. They try to use your fears of war and crime in order to manipulate you. They keep wanting to divvy you up into little subgroups to make you easier to control and manipulate. There's not a criminal on every corner in America. I can prove it to you right now. Open up your front door and take a look. Point to the criminal. You can't. You may not like the way that guy dresses. You may not like the way that guy talks. But that don't make him a criminal. But if you watch the news, they're going to insinuate that there's a man with an AR-15 out there that's been plotting to kill you for months. And it's just not the case. The good people outnumber the bad by almost 10 to 1. And our chat on this show is proof. That's your bona fide evidence. People are good. These people that you see on TV telling you to hate one another, they're not your friends. Don't hate, tolerate. You cannot hate someone without having uncontrolled fear of them. You don't have to agree with people. You don't even have to like people. All you need to do is learn to tolerate them. You can't micromanage other people. You can't pick and choose for them. Let them guide their own path. You take care of your path, but be tolerant of one another. That's why we have cities, so that we can live and work together and tolerate one another. When we do this, we become very, very successful. I don't care what task you're trying to achieve. I don't care what goals you have set for yourself. If you're struggling achieving your goals, what you need are more people on your team. If you can tolerate people and get them on your team, they lighten your workload and they speed up your success. This is the way the human race has worked since the beginning of time. One man wants to build a house. It could take him a couple of years. You get a couple hundred men to help you build your house, you can be done in 2 weeks. The more people you have on your team, the less you have to work yourself, and the faster you get to accomplish all your goals. The key is tolerance of your fellow human being. It's not your place to sit in judgment. It's not your place to pick and choose for them. When you try to pick and choose for your neighbors, what you're doing is you're teaching them that it's okay for them to pick and choose for you. And that's not what you want. It's not what they want either. Tolerance of your fellow human being. That's all it takes to be successful. If you want to succeed, you need to tolerate your fellow human beings. Plain and simple. It's a simple formula that has worked throughout time. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do. It matters how many people are helping you, how many people are on your team. With that said, I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. I want to thank all my viewers. I want to thank the chat. I want to thank Sharon, star of our show today. I appreciate you. Thanks for being on the team. If you be nice to everyone all of the time, I firmly believe all that kindness, all that niceness comes back to you tenfold. It's human nature to lash out at people once in a while, but that doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do. Use your best judgment. All right, that said, be safe, be happy, and find someone to love, I dare you. I'll see you tomorrow at 3 Eastern. Have a marvelous evening.